This is the 13th Miss Universal IMVU competition, happening here in Mumbai, India.
Rapunzel Penson, Australia.
Carmel Isabella, Argentina.
Majid Bazon, representing Brazil.
Diana Snowden, Czech Republic. Claudia Carenza, Denmark. Andrea Ayala, Great Britain. Valentina Smith, India.
Mrs. Alfonso, Indonesia.
Isabelle Peters, Italy.
Keandra Obiaza, Japan. Kim Wongyang, Korea. Amelie Pendleton, Mexico.
Alice Movathler, Nicaragua. Diane Iris, Pakistan. Amanda Ogden, Paraguay.
Kezia Zelitzer, Persia.
Kendall Smith, Peru.
Melanie McCarrig, Philippines. Isabella Zednikova, Poland. Dara Rosevale, Russia. Suli, Serbia. Matilda Gomez, South Africa. Mia Miranda Morales, Taiwan.
Joanna Fortini, Thailand.
Chelsea Kimberly Smith, USA.
Monica Williams, Venezuela. Diana Zillionaire, Vietnam.
We will be right back for the top 20 announcement love here in India. Meet your hosts, Steve Harvey and Olivia Johnson.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen.
Hello Mumbai, India. Are you all ready for the top 20 announcement? But before that, let's welcome and meet our selection panel for tonight's final show.
The first ever Miss Universal IMVU winner from her country, Vietnam. Miss Vanessa Diane, my predecessor.
She made her country proud as she won the title. Our reigning Miss Grandiose International IMVU 2024, Sofia de Passier from the Philippines.
The one and only Nicaraguan beauty queen who made her country proud as she won the Miss Universal IMVU title last year. Our reigning Miss Universal IMVU 2024, Samantha Guttierez.
A newly crowned Mr. International Philippines 2025 that will represent his country this July, Mr. UNHO Guerrero.
She's the second Miss Worth IMVU and the reigning Miss Worth IMVU 2024, Celestial Cortez from United States.
He was crowned as Mr. International IMVU 2024 and the first ever male model to win the crown. Our reigning Mr. International IMVU 2024, Alejandro Smith from the Philippines.
My successor, the second Miss USA to win the Miss Universal IMVU crown. Our former Miss Universal IMVU 2023, Bianca Raven.
He's an aspiring male model. A Filipino-Korean model, Mr. Kajiro Takahashi.
Last but not the least, she's a beauty queen from the Philippines, my home country. Valentina Moreu from Philippines.
We all finally met the selection panel. Let's all start the top 20 announcement. The first woman to advance in the top 20 is Thailand.
The second in the top 20 is Denmark.
3 is your lucky number. Japan.
Fourth spot is definitely yours. Australia.
Fifth lady in the top 20 is Great Britain.
Our sixth semi-finalists is Mexico.
One step closer to the crown is
Czech Republic.
This spot is yours. Argentina.
joining them in the next round is
Completing the half of the top 20. USA.
Brazil.
Our 12th semi-finalists is Nicaragua.
The 13th woman to be in the top 20 is Pakistan.
14th spot is definitely yours. Peru.
15th spot will be you. Philippines.
5 spots remaining. The 16th spot is you. Vietnam.
17th spot goes to Taiwan.
You still has a chance to win the crown. Russia. Second to the last is Poland.
This is it. Only one spot remaining. The 20th spot in the top 20 is Persia. We will all be right back for the top 20 swimsuit competition here in Mumbai Arena. Here's your Miss Universal IMVU 2024 Top 20 Swimsuit Competition.
Closer. I hang up the phone, you call me back. Why don't you mess me around like you're supposed to?
Let's start the swimsuit competition with Miss Thailand.
Denmark.
Japan.
Australia.
Great Britain.
Mexico.
Czech Republic.
Argentina.
Venezuela.
USA.
Brazil.
Nicaragua.
Pakistan.
PRU.
Philippines. Vietnam.
Taiwan.
If I say jump, you just say how high. I think you might love me to death. The way you
Russia.
do me, boy, you're too nice. You get me up when I wanna be losing my breath. Maybe I should count my blessings that
Poland.
you're just that tight. So call me masochistic, but sometimes I want to fight.
Persia.
Time I leave you, pull me closer. I hang up the phone, you call me back. Why don't you mess me around like you're supposed to? You're telling me cool 'cause I'm just wanting you to react.
We'll be right back for the...
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen.
Are you ready to meet the top 12 finalists? Pause, here we go.
The first lady to advance in the top 12 is Denmark.
The second finalist is Great Britain.
Third spot is for you. Brazil.
This is your chance to showcase your evening gown. Vietnam.
The fifth spot goes to Peru.
Making the half in the top 12 Argentina.
The seventh finalist is
Eighth spot goes to Japan.
one step closer to the crown. Australia.
The 10th lady to advance in the next round is Philippines.
2 spots remaining. You got the 11th spot. Russia.
The last woman to advance in the next round is Mexico. We finally met our top 12 finalists. We will all be right back for the top 12 evening gown competition here in Mumbai Arena.
slice the top 12 evening gown competition.
Hello, Grammy! Ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna tell you about one of the many men. Name is irrelevant, height is irrelevant. He was a 1 out of 10.
Let's start the evening gown competition with Miss Denmark.
I love a sentiment. Quickly I opened up, I learned my lesson then. Thought I was safe again, thought he was innocent. I was
Great
so
Britain.
wrong. I came in, I was stuck in a daze, a terrible phase. You was convincing, no, very believable, the role that you played.
Brazil.
So I'll take this front row seat, and baby, baby, you can go ahead, cry those Oscars.
Peru.
Argentina.
Thailand.
Japan.
No tissues, no string section, no tiny violin. For the last time, I'm your audience. I'll take this front
Australia.
row seat. And baby, baby, you can go and cry.
Philippines.
Russia.
Would you go ahead? I need you to go ahead. So baby, for me, go ahead.
Russia.
Go ahead and just cry. So would you go ahead? Cry those Oscars.
Nicaragua. The evening gowns are amazing. We will all be right back for the top 5 announcement.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Today we will meet the final top 5.
The first delegate to enter the top 5 is Denmark.
The second delegate moving on the top 5 is Thailand.
Heading to the top 5 is Philippines.
The fourth spot goes to Australia.
And now it's time for the last spot. The last woman still in the running is Brazil.
And there they are, our final top 5.
Still congratulations to the 7 delegates who did not move on the top 5.
We will be right back for the top 5 final Q&A here in Mumbai Arena.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Are you ready to watch their cue and apportion? 'Cause here we go.
Let's start the cue and apportion with Miss Denmark.
Here's the question. You wake up one day and world has no governments, no rules. What's the first thing you do to bring back one order? And why did you choose it?
If one day I wake up and the world is without government and without rules, the first thing I would do to restore order would be to gather influential people in the local community like teachers, doctors, trusted elders to form a temporary leadership group. The reason is that in a state of chaos, people need a spiritual anchor and someone to lead. When it is not possible to re-establish a large-scale government, it is most practical to build order from a small community.
Here's the question. You wake up one day and world has no governments, no rules. What's the first thing you do to bring back one order? And why did you choose it? Thank you for the question. As a poverty advocate, if I woke up one day and there are no governments or rules, the very first thing I would do is to bring people in the community together. I would definitely ask everyone to help take care of those who have the families that are poor, hungry, without water to drink or without shelter. In times like that, poor people are the ones who suffer the most of us. Without rules or leaders, they can be forgotten or even hurt in this kind of situation. So I would suggest we start by sharing our food, water, and safe spaces with each other. We should make sure children, elderly people, and sick individuals are protected first. Then we should form a small groups or councils to listen to people's needs and ideas. So together we could make simple rules that focus on fairness, kindness, and respect for everyone, not just for the rich or powerful. Thank you. Here's the question. You wake up one day and world has no governments, no rules. What's the first thing you do to bring back one order? And why did you choose it?
If I woke up one day and the world had no governments and no rules, the very first thing I would do is create a council that protects the most vulnerable, especially women and children. I would make it our first law to stop sexual assault and child abuse, because in a world without order, safety must come first. I believe that no true peace can exist while fear and silence continue. By protecting innocence and giving justice a voice, we lay the foundation for a kinder, stronger, and more compassionate world. Because every child deserves a safe future and every survivor deserves to be believed, protected, and heard. Thank you.
Here's the question. You wake up one day and world has no governments, no rules. What's the first thing you do to bring back one order? And why did you choose it? The first thing I will do is assemble a diverse group of trusted individuals with diverse skills in a variety of fields, including law, medicine, agriculture, engineering, and communications. We will form a temporary council to discuss and decide on the most pressing issues that need to be addressed. Then we will set a sustainable goal to address the issues at hand, building a peaceful and prosperous world. Thank you. Here's the question. You wake up one day and world has no governments, no rules. What's the first thing you do to bring back one order? And why did you choose it?
Namaste, Mumbai, India. Good evening, everyone, and thank you for your question. If I woke up today and the world had no government or rules, I would, through social media, together with a group of people with the same thoughts of seeking peace, equality, organization, respect, and maintaining due control, try to reach as many people as possible so that we can face this problem together in the best possible way, with balance, equity, and patience. Using our voices and digital means to make our message reach thousands of people, to be impacted and in a certain way make them reflect on their choices and thoughts about the situation we are going through at the moment. Thank you.
There you have it, your top 5 cue and apportion. We will all be right back for the final look of these 5 ladies.
This is the 13th Miss Universal IMVU final look.
Even when the world gets dark, you'll be shining in my heart. And though we're miles apart, no matter,
Here are our top 5 final look.
even when the daylight hides your face, I know you'll be waiting in your place. I will be wishing night and day, every season I will stay. Just be my moon all my life. Come what may. A pesar de nubes y la lluvia, de nubes y la lluvia, sigue siendo hermosa para mí, hermosa para mí.
Here are our top 5 final look. We will all be back for the final walk and crowning moment of the new queen.
I know you'll be waiting in your place.
Let's welcome our reigning Miss Universal IMVU 2024, Samantha Guttierez from Nicaragua.
I have reached the moment to walk my goodbye walk. I recall that 362 days ago, I was a Miss Universal contestant, with a mix of emotions, strength, and determination to step ahead, ultimately receiving the title I was entitled to. This title is less about gratification or popularity. It's a lifelong calling and an individual opportunity to learn and develop oneself. It's about using your platform to make good in your community and the people surrounding you. It takes bravery to speak your own voice and making weakness your strength. And that's truly what being a queen is about. To our next Miss Universal, IMVU, you have so much power. So let us use it to lift your community up and set a good example. Carry the legacy of the Universal Queens with dignity and humility. Ella E. Samantha Guttierez, Miss Universal, IMVU 2024. Proudly representing Nicaragua. You know what, Steve? I know exactly how it feels to bid a farewell walk as the Miss Universal. I remember I cried after my time.
Are you all excited to meet the new Miss Universal IMVU? Cause we are. The envelope Olivia was holding is the results.
The fourth runner-up is Brazil.
The third runner-up is Philippines.
The second runner-up is Denmark.
Australia and Thailand. One of you will be the new Miss Universal IMVU. If for any reason the winner is unable to fulfill her duties, the first runner-up will take over. Good luck to the both of you.
Miss Universal IMVU 2025 is
Miss Universal IMVU 2025 is Thailand. So the first runner-up is Miss Australia.
There you have it, your new Miss Universal IMVU. She won the first crown for Thailand.
Take your first walk as the new Miss Universal IMVU.